Hey, Sister Rhonda, Pastor Joseph here. Sister Virginia Merriman came to me uh, perplexed that her granddaughter Amira was not, her birthday was not listed in the bulletin. And so I have information here on her last name and her date of birth. And at first, I was uh, thinking that that must mean that she was not in the database, but she was in the database. And so I, I don't know if there was a glitch, but I wanted to mention that if her name came up and you filtered it out, I would like to ask if you would please not do that. Rather, just leave them in and let me filter them. Because if you don't know who it is, I might know who it is. So in this case, her feelings were kind of hurt because her name wasn't in the bulletin. But I wanted to show you how to add a new record to the database and also how to edit an existing record in the database. So the first thing is to go to CAC. It's to go to cac.us.com/admin. Now down here, you would put in your username, happyronda106, and your password. And if you don't remember what your password is, just let me know and I'll remind you. I think it's the same password that you had before. So you would log in and then you would click on Member Care Admin Main Index. And before adding anyone, it's important to search and see if they are already existing. And you would do that with search by member. And in this case, we will look for Amira. And when we look, we will find that she is listed and her birthday is listed. Now, something to notice is that Amira's last name of Anderson is different from her grandparents' last name of Merriman. But as far as our church is concerned, she's associated with the Merriman family. So we do that by listing a family association value that consists of the last name, a comma, a space, and the first name of the husband or head of the household of the family that the person is associated with. So to edit this record, you can click Edit. So let's say that her date of birth is not listed and we need to add it in here. We would click into the date of birth field and we would add the date of birth right here. It goes in a format of a 2-digit month and then a slash and then a 2-digit day and then a slash and then a 4-digit year. Now, let's say that Amira gets the Holy Ghost or gets baptized. And so we need to add her date for getting water baptized or her date for getting the Holy Ghost. If it's a date that we're getting that's new and there wasn't any information there before, then that field will have a space in it instead of numbers. And that space should be deleted before adding numbers in. And whenever you're adding in months or days, use leading zeros. So for example, for 1, you would use 01. For 3, you would use 03, and so forth. Once the information is added, including a family association if need be, then you scroll down to the bottom and you click this button to update the record. Now, let's say I'm going to click go back to Member Care Main. Let's say that you search by member, and when you search, nothing comes up. They're not in the database. Then it's time to add them. So you would go back to Member Care Main, and instead of search by member, you would use create new member record. And then you would put in their first name, their last name. If you know their address, put it in. If you don't know their address, just put a space. Same for city. If you know it, put it in. If not, put a space. State would be West Virginia, WV. If you know their zip, put it in. If not, put a space. Same for email and all the phone numbers. If you know the info, put it in. If you don't, put in a space. For care group, choose not grouped. And then for status, choose I want to leave this blank. Let me scroll upwards so that I can show you I want to leave this blank. And then you would click the Insert New Record button. Now once the new record gets inserted, then you can go and search by member, find the new record that you just inserted, and there's much more information now that can be added to the record, including family association and date of birth, marriage, date deceased, water baptized, spirit baptized dates, and so forth. So I hope this is helpful. And again, remember, if you have a birthday for someone that you don't know who it is, consider just leaving it in, and then I can filter out the ones that need filtered out, because again, I may know who it is even if you don't know who it is. Thank you so much for all you do. We appreciate you so much. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.